chosen one. They feel so guilty, and deep down, they know you didn't deserve this abusive treatment. That's why they're trying to contact you, haunted by the silence they created. Right now, someone is sitting in complete darkness, not the calm kind, the suffocating kind. For the first time, the truth is clear. They were the villain, not you. This person used sacred language to disguise control, calling it divine connection when it was pure manipulation. But now the cord is severed, the access is gone. They traded gold for garbage, and karma is collecting. You didn't lose them. They lost their only light. There was talk about children with this person. Either there was desperate wanting of kids with you, or you wanted a family, and something always blocked it. Or right now there's separation from a child. There's heartbreak around family, around futures that will never happen. And it's all crumbling because the foundation was built on lies. Secrets were everything to this person, an entire existence built on hiding truth. But secrets have a way of rotting from the inside, and now everything is spilling out. Dirty laundry for everyone to see. The mask has shattered into 1,000 pieces. The persona has collapsed. Everyone sees the real person now. Not the image, not the character. The raw, ugly, undeniable truth. Inside that mind right now is chaos, confusion, feeling lost, feeling invisible even when people are staring directly. There's a void inside that nothing can fill. Running from it continues, from the feelings, from the truth, from any whisper of responsibility. But the truth has marathon endurance. It follows into every room, every conversation, every moment of silence, and thoughts of you are constant. What was had, what got destroyed, what will never be recovered. Here's where the pattern gets clear. Running from problems instead of solving them, creating chaos wherever planted. Every relationship ends the same way, same destruction, different victim, and the common thread through every disaster is this person, the variable that never changes, the poison in every well. This is awareness beginning to dawn, not accountability. Don't confuse the two. Full responsibility isn't being taken, not even close. But the awareness is creeping in like cold morning light. The villain in the story becomes visible, and for someone who spent an entire life playing victim, that realization is shattering everything previously believed. Let me tell you about this fake connection. The belief was that you were being played, that puppet master strings were being pulled, that control was held, but the fool was always clear to everyone else. The clown, the joke everyone else could see. And now it's hitting like a freight train. Something real got destroyed. Something rare. Something that will be searched for the rest of this life and never found. The thinking is rigid, black and white. Win or lose, right or wrong. No nuance, no compromise. Everything is war. If winning happens, you must lose. If being right happens, you must be wrong. That toxic mindset destroyed everything good that was touched, including you. Especially you. When you got hurt, nothing was felt. Zero remorse, zero regret, zero shame. Walking around proud happened, justified, convinced of being right. But something shifted. The person who got moved on to, the person who got paraded around like an upgrade, has done exactly what got done to you. The karma that got sent out has returned with interest, and cause and effect are finally being understood. What goes around doesn't just come around, it comes back amplified. This person is not emotionally mature. Sitting with feelings doesn't happen. Processing pain doesn't happen. Taking accountability naturally doesn't happen. But the universe doesn't ask permission to teach lessons. Growing up is being forced. Facing the self is being forced. And the process is breaking everything down piece by piece. The spiritual connection that got access through you is gone. Vanished. You can't be reached energetically anymore. Your light can't be tapped into. Your energy can't be fed on like before. And without that source, drowning in personal darkness is happening. Being overwhelmed by emotions without regulation tools, feelings without processing ability. Spiritual gifts, if any ever existed, are completely blocked. And here's why. Denial. Emotions got denied. Accountability got denied. The shadow got denied. When you deny truth, you cut yourself off from the divine. That's universal law. and living proof is walking around right now. Think about winter. Everything stripped bare, and then spring, the thaw, the awakening. This person has been in winter. Something deep got repressed. Something critical got denied. Truth got pushed so far down, it blocked the connection to the source. Complete closing off happened, and because closing off happened, anxiety stayed, growth got refused, silence got maintained when screaming for help should have happened. Nothing beautiful was supposed to happen with you, because paths don't align. You were never meant to build with this person. You were the lesson, the test, the obstacle that had to be overcome to step into your real power. You got juggled with someone else, games got played, acting like options existed, collecting attention like trophies, and now the current person is doing the same thing. Personal medicine is being tasted, and it's the most bitter thing ever swallowed. Your social media is being scrolled through, mutual friends are being asked about you, driving past places where you might be is happening. The obsession is real, and the more your thriving gets seen, the deeper the guilt cuts, because realization is finally happening about what was had, what got thrown away, what will never be found again. Waking up in the middle of the night with your name on their lips is happening. Dreams are coming where you're happy without this person, where you're with someone who treats you the way you should have been treated. And waking up in cold sweats happens with the realization that it's not a nightmare, it's reality. You've moved on, and being stuck is the current state. The guilt is manifesting physically now. Eating properly isn't happening. Focusing at work isn't happening. Being present in the current situation isn't possible, because constant comparing to what existed with you is happening. And the comparison is destroying everything, because there is no comparison. What existed with you was real. What exists now is a pale imitation, a cheap knockoff, a counterfeit being passed off as authentic. While being with you, you were trying to help with seeing destructive patterns, supporting growth, acting from pure love with zero expectation of return. But readiness didn't exist. So instead of growing with you, pulling you into toxicity happened, into a dynamic that was slowly killing you. If this message hits your spirit, hype this video so more chosen ones like you can find it. Every time you tried to talk about behavior, you weren't attacking. You were offering a mirror, a chance to grow, a chance to evolve. But that mirror got shattered because the reflection was unbearable. Name-calling happened. Being told you were too sensitive, too demanding, too much, when really, you were just asking for basic respect, basic decency, basic human consideration. The guilt around this is crushing. Every conversation where you tried to communicate needs is being replayed. Every moment you set a boundary and it got violated. Every time you asked for something simple and you got made to feel like you were asking for the world. It's all being seen differently now. Through the lens of loss, through the lens of consequence. This was emotional violence, explosive reactions, defensiveness at every turn, being so closed off, so shut down, so unwilling to be vulnerable, and now sitting with the awareness that you told the truth. You said the behavior was destructive. You said cruelty was happening, and listening didn't happen. But now thinking about it is happening. Really thinking, and knowing you were right is unavoidable. Specific moments are being remembered now. The time you cried and got told to stop being dramatic. The time you needed support and it got made about someone else. The time you were celebrating a win and it got diminished. The time you were going through something difficult and nobody was there. All of it is flooding back, and the guilt is drowning everything. It all comes down to mental health. Warning signs got ignored, feelings got pushed down, getting help got refused, doing the work got refused, and that unhealed version destroyed everything good in life, you included. Personal reflection is being seen in other people now. Someone at work treats dismissively, and suddenly memory returns about how you got treated. Someone cancels plans last minute, and memory returns about how many times that happened to you. Someone lies, and memory returns about the web of lies that got spun. The universe is holding up mirror after mirror, and escaping personal reflection isn't possible anymore. The guilt crushing right now is suffocating. Things that were wanted have been ripped away. There's loss of control, loss of authority. If children are involved, custody may have been lost. Being allowed near kids may not be permitted. Heavy thinking is happening. Internal admission of faults is happening. But speaking accountability out loud won't happen. Not yet. Not about how you got treated. Messages are being written that never get sent. Apologies are being typed out and deleted. Conversations are being rehearsed mentally. Scenarios are being imagined where you take this person back, where you forgive, where things go back to how they used to be. But even in fantasies, a wall gets hit. Because the energetic shift can be felt. The door being closed can be felt. Locked, with the key thrown away. But internally, the truth is known, absolutely known. There was abuse happening, abuse of power, abuse of trust, abuse of your kindness, and you were the rescuer. You provided strength and support during crisis. You acted from love with no strings attached. But when you do that with someone in a completely different emotional space, it becomes unhealthy fast. Leaning on you happened, expecting you to carry everything happened, not just emotionally, but in every way. And when explosions and defensiveness came instead of appreciation, it became too much. It consumed you, until you realized healthy boundaries weren't optional. They were survival. And when you set those boundaries, complete loss of control happened. The exact moment you changed is remembered. The moment your eyes went cold. The moment you stopped fighting for this person. The moment you stopped caring about the tantrums. It's remembered because that was the moment realization hit about pushing too far. But ego wouldn't allow admission. So pushing harder happened. Thinking you could be broken back into compliance. Back into being an emotional support system. Back into being a servant. But you didn't break. You bent. Then you snapped back into your power. And walked away. After the split, lies about you got told. Information got spread for personal gain. Things got falsified. Private details got leaked to look better, to justify the ending, to paint you as the villain for the victim role to be played. And here's where it gets dark. Here's where everything connects. This relates to why children can't be seen now. The lies caught up. The manipulation backfired. The universe said enough. Actions got taken that caused a domino effect. Harm didn't stop in the relationship. Harm continued after, when you weren't even around, when you had moved on and were healing. Attempts to destroy you from distance were still happening, because watching you thrive without this person couldn't be tolerated. The guilt around the smear campaign is eating everything alive now, because everyone who believed the lies initially has started asking questions, started noticing inconsistencies, started seeing through the performance, and one by one, people are distancing themselves, not from you, from this person. The very people who were meant to turn against you are now seeing the real character. And that isolation is unbearable, sitting alone realizing that in the quest to destroy your reputation, personal reputation got destroyed. You were meant to lose your support system, but the loss happened in reverse. You were meant to be alone, but the one sitting in empty rooms wondering where everyone went, it is this person. Let me tell you what happened. Love bombing came first. Classic energy vampire with hidden motives. Trust was the goal. Becoming a food source was the plan. So showing what was thought to be wanted got performed. Not the real self. Just illusion. Projection. Carefully crafted persona. And by the time you were hooked, by the time you fell for that illusion, the real person started showing, and you felt obligated to stay, to help, to rescue, to fix what was never your responsibility. Guilt is being felt about the manipulation now, about how calculated it all was, how you got studied, how your triggers got learned, how your wounds got discovered, not to help you heal them, but to weaponize them, to use them against you, to keep you compliant, to keep you giving, to keep you serving needs while yours got ignored. The guilt around this level of manipulation is suffocating, because stupidity isn't the issue. What was being done was fully known. Every gaslighting comment, every deflection, every time your concerns got turned back on you, it was all intentional, all strategic, all designed to maintain power over you. You got used. Bottom line, whatever image served the agenda in the moment got projected, and when things got serious, when authorities got involved, lies got told. If there are parental figures in this situation, multiple people lied about something involving a child. Lies about your character got made up. Vicious stories got created. The guilt around these particular lies is different. It's heavier, because crossing a line that can never be uncrossed is recognized. The most serious accusations got weaponized. Systems meant to protect the vulnerable got used as weapons to destroy you, and those systems eventually saw through it, eventually investigated, eventually turned. When the relationship ended, however it ended, you moved on. There may have been deep sadness, a period where cocooning yourself and doing inner work happened, where feeling terrible happened, but reaching out didn't. Playing games didn't happen. Seeking revenge didn't happen. You just healed, then moved on, became more present, more authentic, more yourself than ever. But the response was completely different. In that mind, a game was happening. Back and forth was expected. Reaction from you was wanted. Fighting for this person or fighting back was wanted. And when you didn't, when you disappeared into your healing and emerged stronger, escalation happened. More intense and ridiculous lengths to get your attention happened, to make you respond, to pull you back in. Get you back for what? For leaving, for wanting better, for choosing peace over chaos. That's what can't be forgiven. That you valued yourself enough to walk away. I must interrupt this transmission for just a moment. Are you really chosen? Prove it. It's easy to watch videos about chosen ones. It's another thing to put yourself to the test. If you're still here, that means something. But talk is cheap. Real chosen ones take action. That's why I built Destiny Engine. It generates personalized sequences that help you rewire betrayal into transcendence, turn isolation into sacred power, and transform their downfall into your rise. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that programmed competition and scarcity and repurposing it to serve divine justice. The beauty is you don't even have to lift a finger. You put on the headphones, press play, and watch your enemies choke on the rope their own lies created. If you're done consuming and ready to prove you're chosen, start your Destiny Engine for $1 today, join the Obsidian Inner Order live checks, and watch divine justice accelerate in your life. Link in the description. The breakup is being replayed constantly in that mind. Every word you said is being analyzed. Every expression on your face, looking for signs that got missed, looking for moments where the outcome could have been changed. But the truth is there was nothing that could have been done, because by the time you left, you had already left emotionally. You had already grieved the relationship, already accepted it was over, already made peace with walking away. This person was just the last to know. Jealousy of your success was real, of how well you did. Whatever you touched turned to gold. You could start something new and excel immediately. And instead of celebrating that, instead of feeling proud, competition was seen. Your wins were seen as losses for this person, and someone else in that life felt the same way. Another person threatened by your light. Another person who couldn't celebrate your gifts. This is important. Remember this, it's going to come back around. The guilt around jealousy is complicated, because jealousy is known to be ugly, known to be small, known to reveal personal insecurities and inadequacies. But it couldn't be helped. Every time you succeeded, failures got highlighted. Every time you grew, stagnation got emphasized. Every time you shined, darkness got thrown into sharp relief. So dimming you got attempted. Passive-aggressive comments about your achievements got made. Ways to undermine your confidence got found. Suggestions that you were getting too big for your boots happened. Too ambitious, too focused on yourself, when really staying small was just wanted so feeling inadequate in comparison wouldn't happen. This person may be trying to contact you right now. People got told you weren't as talented as you claimed, but it wasn't just that. Details about your intimate life got shared, about private moments together, things that should have stayed sacred, and talking about it with that other person in detail happened. Maybe about you not wanting to share energy anymore, about sleeping in separate rooms toward the end, about working different shifts and barely seeing each other, about slowly drifting apart, and the story got rewritten to suit personal needs, to make you the villain, and this person the victim. The guilt around violating your privacy is gnawing, because knowing it was wrong while doing it was clear. Those moments were supposed to be sacred. Betraying your trust even further was recognized, but doing it anyway happened. Because needing people to side with this person was strong. Needing people to validate the decision was strong. Needing people to agree that you were the problem was strong. The people who got told didn't react as expected. Some were uncomfortable with the level of detail. Some questioned why such intimate information was being shared. Some started to wonder what kind of person violates their partner's privacy like that. And that questioning planted seeds of doubt about character. Now realization is happening that those conversations didn't make this person look like the victim. Looking vindictive happened, petty, cruel, and those words can't be taken back, can't be unsaid, can't erase the image that got painted of someone who weaponizes intimacy. Whatever lie got told about you, it collapsed. Something that was done was supposed to stop you, trip you up, ruin your career or reputation or opportunities. Working with someone else to do it happened. Collaborating with another person carrying distorted energy happened, and exhaustion resulted from it. Being around toxic energy drains everyone involved. Lies got told about not being upset about how things ended, about how you grew and transformed after leaving. Someone here went from barely expressing themselves to being completely articulate and free, in how you speak, how you dress, how you carry yourself. Total freedom this person was suppressing, and seeing it now is unavoidable. Being cast as the villain isn't liked, but knowing it's true is unavoidable. Watching you live the life that was said you couldn't have is happening. Achieving the things that were said were impossible. Becoming the person that was said you'd never be. And every milestone you hit is a reminder of how wrong the assessment was, how much you got underestimated, how badly what you were capable of without that weight got misjudged. When your career got targeted, the career got lost instead. That's divine justice. That's karma in real time. Attempting to destroy your livelihood made the universe say not today, and took the other one instead. Now defending is happening, feeling like it has to happen, but also feeling terrible because of what got done. And the message is clear. The desire to call you is real. Wanting back in is happening. Wanting reconciliation is happening. Being in a hated situation and wanting to escape back to you is happening. Feeling like maybe you're the key to spirituality is happening. To having a spiritual awakening. Maybe thinking that's what's happening now. This forced isolation, this karma, this darkness, maybe thinking it's awakening, but it's not. It's consequences. There's a massive difference. The guilt is driving the urge to reach out. Messages are being composed mentally. Apologies are being practiced in mirrors. Scenarios where you forgive are being imagined, where you take this person back, where everything goes back to the way it was. But even in fantasies, a wall gets hit, because your change is known. Your evolution beyond the person who would tolerate that behavior is known. Guilt is being felt about specific moments now. The time embarrassment happened in front of friends, the time you got made to feel small in public, the time someone else got sided with against you, the time something important to you got forgotten, the time something else got chosen over you repeatedly until you stopped asking for anything. All these moments are flooding back, each one carrying its own weight of guilt, each one revealing another layer of how poorly you got treated, each one showing exactly why you left, exactly why you won't come back, exactly why this door is closed forever. But the guilt isn't just about what got done, it's about what didn't get done. The support that didn't get given, the love that didn't get shown, the effort that didn't get made, the person who didn't become. All the ways falling short happened, all the ways comfort got chosen over growth, all the ways ego got chosen over your connection. Let me be crystal clear, chosen one. This person doesn't deserve access to you anymore. Having a chance already happened. Having someone pure and loving and powerful standing right there happened. And choosing destruction happened. Choosing lies and manipulation and harm happened. Choosing ego over connection happened. Choosing chaos over peace happened. And now sitting in the bed that got made is happening. Full of thorns, bleeding, looking around wondering how arrival at this point occurred. But deep down, exactly how is known. Admitting it out loud just won't happen. You, on the other hand, are thriving, growing, becoming more of who you were always meant to be. You're not looking back, not waiting for change to happen in someone else, not holding hope for your worth to finally be seen, because you already know your worth. You learned it in the fire of that relationship. You learned it walking away. You learned it in the silence of your healing. Your worth is seen now that it's too late, now that you're gone, now that someone else will benefit from all the work you did on yourself. Someone else will receive the healed version of you, the empowered version, the version that knows exactly what gets deserved and won't settle for less. Access to your loyalty existed, your dedication, your support, your energy, your love, and treating it like it was disposable happened, like it was infinite, like you'd always be there no matter how bad the behavior got. And now realization is happening that those things weren't disposable, they were priceless, and something priceless got thrown away to chase something worthless. The guilt around this realization is existential, because understanding is dawning that what existed with you may never be found again. Understanding is happening that something irreplaceable got fumbled. Understanding is happening that a diamond got traded for broken glass, and convincing the self it was an upgrade happened. The universe removed this person from your life for a reason, not to punish you, to protect you, to make space for something better, to clear the path for the life you're actually meant to live, with people who celebrate you, who honor you, who match your energy instead of draining it. What you owe yourself is protection, peace, the commitment to never again allow anyone to treat you this way, the promise you'll never again shrink yourself for someone else's comfort, the vow you'll never again ignore red flags, hoping someone will change. This person may feel guilty now, may know the treatment you received wasn't deserved, may be spiraling in consequences and finally seeing the self clearly. But that doesn't mean actual change has happened. Awareness is not transformation. Guilt is not growth. Regret is not readiness to be different. And here's what you need to understand about the guilt being felt. It's not pure. It's contaminated with self-pity, with anger that you won't absolve, with resentment that you've moved on, with frustration that manipulation tactics don't work anymore. Real guilt leads to changed behavior. What exists here leads to manipulation attempts disguised as apologies. People who truly change don't just feel bad. Deep work to understand why acting that way happened gets done. Professional help gets sought. Commitment to years of inner healing happens. Making amends without expecting anything back happens. Proving through consistent action over time that difference exists, not through words, not through promises, not through manipulation, through sustained authentic change. And even if this person did all that, even if years in therapy happened and coming back completely transformed occurred, you still wouldn't owe another chance, still wouldn't be obligated to let anyone back in, because sometimes the lesson someone teaches is that long-term presence in your story isn't meant to be. Sometimes people come to show you exactly what you don't want, to push you toward awakening, to force you to value yourself, and once that lesson is learned, the chapter closes. Your chapter is just beginning. You're stepping into a version of yourself this person never got to meet, a version that's powerful and clear and unshakable, a version that knows its value and won't negotiate it, a version that attracts what gets deserved instead of settling for what's available, a version so connected to source that no one can ever cut you off from your spiritual gifts again. That connection you have to the divine is unbreakable, not dependent on anyone else, not something that can be taken. It's yours, been yours since before you were born, woven into your DNA. It's why you're called Chosen One, because you were chosen for something greater than toxic relationships and energy vampires, and people who can't see your light. You were chosen to break generational curses, to heal ancestral wounds, to raise the frequency of everyone around you, to show people what authentic power looks like, to be living proof that you can go through hell and come out refined like gold, that you can be knocked down and get back up stronger, that you can lose everything and build something better. This person watching you from distance, seeing you thrive, it's destroying everything inside, because thinking you'd fall apart without this person was the belief. Thinking you needed this person was the belief. Thinking your light somehow depended on that presence was the belief. But you showed different. You showed them you're not just the light, you're the whole sun, and you don't dim for anyone. So when trying to contact you happens, and it will happen, remember who you are. Remember what you walked through to get here. Remember every tear you cried, every night you couldn't sleep, every moment you questioned if you'd ever feel okay again. You don't need closure from anyone else. Don't need an apology. Don't need validation of your experience or admission of being wrong. You already know the truth. That's enough. You already have your power back. That's everything. The guilt being felt is between that person and the universe. The consequences being faced are personal to deal with. The healing needed is personal to do. You're not the teacher anymore, not the healer, not the rescuer. You're free. You're sovereign. You're complete exactly as you are. And when you really understand that, when you embody that truth, something shifts. You stop caring if guilt is being felt or not. Stop wondering if thoughts about you are happening. Stop hoping change will occur or loss will be recognized. Because you're too busy building the life you were always meant to live, with people who deserve to be in it, in spaces that honor your energy, creating things that align with your purpose. That's the ultimate power move, chosen one. Not contacting back, not telling off, not making anyone feel as bad as you got made to feel. The ultimate power is your peace, your growth, your happiness, your success, your freedom. The life you build without this person is the testimony. The way you thrive after attempts to break you is the proof. So let sitting in guilt happen. Let spiraling in consequences happen. Let waking up to personal truth happen. And you keep walking forward, keep rising, keep shining, keep becoming. Because that's what chosen ones do. We don't go backwards. We don't repeat cycles. We break them. We transcend them. We leave them in the dust. But first you had to learn what you wouldn't tolerate. Had to experience what you didn't want, so you could become crystal clear about what you do want. Had to walk through fire so you could become fireproof. Had to survive this person so you could become the version of yourself that no one can ever break again. And you did it. You're here. You're breathing. You're healing. You're growing. You're still standing. That alone is a miracle. That alone proves your power. That alone shows you're exactly who you were called to be. So when reaching out happens, if reaching out happens, you'll know what to do. Not because someone told you, but because you're connected to Source. You're guided by something bigger than your emotions. You're protected by the same universe that brought you through everything you've already survived. And that universe hasn't brought you this far to let you fall back into what almost destroyed you. You've tasted freedom. You've experienced peace. You've felt what it's like to be aligned. You can't unsee what you've seen. Can't unknow what you know. Can't unbecome who you've become. You've done your part. You've played your role. You've learned your lessons. You've completed that cycle. Now it's time to focus on you, your healing, your growth, your dreams, your peace, your joy, your future. And let the experience of what it feels like when a chosen one says no happen. When a chosen one chooses self. When a chosen one walks away for good. When a chosen one closes a door that will never open again. Now it's time to collect your reward. And that reward is the life you're about to live, the love you're about to experience, the peace you're about to know, the joy you're about to feel, the purpose you're about to walk in. This is just the beginning, chosen one. Just the beginning.